Behind this blocky, cartoonish aesthetic lies a multi-billion-dollar infrastructure designed for behavioral conditioning. While it looks like a creative playground, every interaction is a data point in a massive psychological experiment. The financial cost of this experiment is staggering. In 2024 alone, the platform generated $3.6 billion, largely through microtransactions that children often trigger without understanding they are spending their parents' real-world savings. In 2026, clinical reports from Ghaziabad and Pune linked compulsive engagement with the platform to severe psychological distress. These studies suggest that for a small minority, the dysregulation of the brain's reward system can escalate from addiction to documented cases of self-harm and suicide. Current lawsuits in California describe how the platform's chat features allow predators to bypass safety filters. These filings detail a pattern where minors are groomed in-game and then moved to unmonitored apps like Discord, leading to cases of sexual exploitation and physical kidnapping. This environment operates without the oversight of a traditional casino because it is technically classified as a digital sandbox. This regulatory gap allows a predatory economic model to function in a space occupied primarily by children under 13. To understand how these games control behavior, we have to look back at the work of B.F. Skinner. He proved that by placing a subject in a controlled environment and tailoring specific consequences, like food for a lever press, he could systematically rewire their decision-making. The platform relies on ratio reinforcement, a schedule where rewards are delivered unpredictably. This creates a compulsion loop. The brain never knows which specific click or spin will trigger the dopamine hit, so it repeats the action indefinitely. This chance-based merchandising mimics the mechanics of a slot machine. Children purchase mystery boxes, or loot boxes, for a random reward, a process that 2025 research from the University of Sydney found was described by young players as literally just child gambling. Developers use dark patterns to remove natural stopping points. By using limited-time rewards and global leaderboards, the interface creates artificial social pressure to stay logged in, ensuring the user remains trapped in the engagement cycle. Biologically, these mechanics trigger massive, unnatural dopamine spikes. In an adolescent brain with an underdeveloped prefrontal cortex, this high-frequency stimulation can permanently lower impulse control and prioritize game goals over real-life health. These experiences function as precision-engineered digital Skinner boxes, prioritizing maximum user extraction over actual entertainment or creativity. This virtual currency, Robux, acts as a psychological layer of abstraction. By forcing users to convert real money into an arbitrary digital token, the platform causes the brain to decouple digital spending from real-world financial loss. For children, this conversion is often incomprehensible. One 11-year-old in a recent study described the process as scary, inadvertently spending hundreds of dollars chasing items with no liquid value outside the app. To maintain its catalog of 40 million experiences, the platform lures its young users into the Developer Exchange, or DevEx program. It encourages children to transition from players to creators, promising them a share of the profits. This payment structure is a digital version of the 19th century company town. Workers are paid in company scrip, a currency that can only be spent at the company store, trapping them in a closed economic loop. The math of DevEx is predatory. The corporation keeps 75% of the revenue generated by these young creators. To cash out the remaining 25%, a child must first accumulate a massive balance, pay for a premium subscription, and accept a harsh exchange rate. By wrapping this system in a colorful interface, the corporation has effectively digitized historical child labor. They rely on the creative output of minors who have almost no legal standing to demand fair compensation. The multi-billion-dollar valuation of this entire ecosystem is built on the unpaid, unregulated labor of its most addicted users. This platform currently evades gambling laws by arguing that its mystery boxes only dispense virtual goods with no real-world value. It is a legal loophole that allows millions of children to engage in high-stakes chance mechanics every day. It also bypasses labor exploitation laws through click-wrap agreements. By accepting the terms of service, users and their parents forfeit their rights to the very content they spend hundreds of hours building. The long-term result is digital atrophy. When a child's reward circuitry is rewired by these constant, intense dopamine spikes, physical reality feels gray and unrewarding. Simple tasks like schoolwork or social interaction can no longer compete with the simulated status of the box. Traditional parenting strategies like setting time limits are often ineffective because they do not address the targeted neurological warfare being used against the child. The platform is designed to make withdrawal an agonizing emotional experience for the entire family. A hard reset is mandatory. Society must recognize these platforms for what they are, predatory behavioral experiments, and regulate them as strictly as any physical casino before the strip mining of developing minds becomes the global standard.